I'm sure you've heard of funnels before. Have you guys heard of funnels? We've talked about it a little bit in a previous call. Every business operates off of funnels. Funnels are basically ways that you acquire clients. Top of funnel, which is the broadest, is going to be your free content and maybe a follower ad. So this would be organic and this would be paid. Let me try to extend this. Oh. Okay. Top of funnel. We've talked a little bit about that already. Next, you have low ticket. Can be a workshop, PDF. You can even, charge if you want for, let's just say, consultation call. I'm going to drop down here, package. So you guys have seen this a little bit on the other document that I showed you. This is another one, mid-ticket, which can be like a recorded course / modules. It can be once a month, group coaching, something like that. So this is generally the funnel that we're looking at, okay? So this is the crazy thing. All of this, well, our end goal is this, right? High ticket. This is the end goal to get people to. This is where we start. The way that and this is now just reflecting on how I acquired you guys as clients. Is that okay? Can we talk about it? Can we just be super transparent? I already knew you guys previous to any conversation that had to do with coaching. Trust was already built. We knew each other. We've had interactions in the past. We're cool. Yeah. So what that allowed me to do was post free content on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook that you guys have seen, you guys saw, and you guys were like, yo, I've been watching your stuff. Like, pretty cool. Right? I made a call to action in my free content because you guys were warm, meaning there was already trust established. All I had to do was get you guys on a free consultation call, which is basically a sales call. You guys seeing this? So I skipped this and I skipped this and I went straight to this because, number one, there was already trust at this point, and because I have some decent sales skills. So number one, already super warm, aligned, same vision, same kind of goal, right? And I was able to talk to you in such a way that it made sense for you and for me to work together. And we went straight here. So the reason why I encourage you guys to lean into your already current following is because I almost guarantee you that there's at least one person that's following you right now. You don't know who they are yet. Maybe they come to your mind as you're producing your content and you're thinking, man, this person would be a great fit to be in my coaching program. Or maybe you make a call to action in your story or on your reel and you say, hey, DM me the word blank for more information. And that person will reveal themselves from out of the crowd. And because they're already warm, all you have to do is invite them onto a call, whether it's Google Meets or Zoom or whatever it is, for what you can call a discovery call, a clarity call, which is just to discern what's the next step, right? The traditional term for it is consultation call. What we know as the coaches is that essentially it's a sales call because we're going to pitch. Okay. So, but let me say this, like, you want to pitch if it's a good fit. Trust me, you don't want to work with somebody that's not a good fit. Like, you might collect some cash, but you're also collecting a heck for the next 6 months or however long you're working with them. So, if you've already have an established relationship with the person, you've developed some decent understanding on how to bring out pain points, ask good questions, position your package and your offer as the solution to their problem, work with them when it comes to financial components in terms of payment plans and different things, then you can get somebody enrolled into your high ticket coaching program fairly quickly. Y'all seeing it? So this is the simplest, quickest funnel, but it also requires more trust or really good sales skills. Y'all get it? Right? I showed you guys the diagram before. Either you're doing a lot of heavy lifting here on the front end with your content, with your community service content, your marketing, or you're doing a lot of heavy lifting on the sales call. But either way, there has to be trust, there has to be buy-in. So the long game, and this is the long game especially for cold traffic or people that don't really know you, is this route. I see your hand, Janelle. I'll let you ask a question in a second. So this is the long game right here on the left side. For people that don't know you, have never seen any of your content, they just followed you and you reached out and somehow they scheduled a call with you, they probably won't trust you, right? I've had clients join a program of mine in the past where it's literally my first interaction with them ever. And they joined my program. They dropped 2,500 or however much the program was. So you guys know this, but you usually don't ask somebody to marry you on the first date, right? Usually you want to spend some time with the person to decide, do I want to commit to this person? Business and content is the same exact way. And that's why, like, I encourage you guys heavy to do YouTube long form horizontal, like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Because number one, that's out there like forever. And people can binge your stuff even like months, years down the line and be getting warmed up to you and you don't even know it. Without you having to do a workshop or something where you're presently putting in energy to warm them up. YouTube is doing the work for you. Do the work once and then it works for you for the rest of your life. That's why YouTube is awesome. I still recommend doing workshops and still demonstrating live that you're a real person and that they can trust you, right? Getting on a call with you and being like, wow, like I'm in close proximity with Janelle or Loami, and so that's still a good thing to warm people up, right? So the principle is get somebody to follow you, get somebody to buy into your page, to get into your ecosystem, and then you nurture them in whatever way you can, whether it's YouTube long form, which is the quickest way, Instagram short form, giving out free templates and documents and devotionals and whatever it is that's going to help your ideal client. And all you want to do is just warm up, give so much that they're like, yo, this person is giving out so much free game. I wonder how good their paid stuff is. Janelle is changing my life, and I don't even know this girl. Imagine if I could actually be in her inner circle coaching program and actually ask her a question about my situation. That's what this is about. In a very simple way, what we're doing is building trust, warming people up, and then helping them at a deeper level because they actually trust us. I just want to explain more in depth what art offers, what are the different types of offers, and I'm actually giving you this template as a PDF that you can look at. So first and foremost, this is an overview. And the beautiful thing about different offer types is that you can basically customize it according to your gifts, according to what you feel like fits your personality, your business, right? There's not a one size fits all, but these categories are pretty much applicable to every type of business and personality type. So I'm just going to go through it a little bit. First and foremost here, community service content. This is the stuff that you post on Instagram, on YouTube, stuff that you post for free just to demonstrate to people that you can help them, right? This is stuff that anyone and everyone who has a Wi-Fi connection, they can benefit from your content. What I recommend is to really lean into YouTube because YouTube is where you warm people up the quickest. So there's a principle that basically says that um, this is actually a study that was done by Google, actually. And the conclusion they came to is that it takes 7 hours across 11 different interactions on 4 different platforms for someone to fully trust you and basically just be ready to hand their credit card over to you and say, hey, I want to work with you. I want to be coached by you or receive your services. Right. So what that basically demonstrates, right, the principle is that the more people trust you, the more you help people over, the course of a longer period of time, the less objections, the less excuses, the less doubt and skepticism people will have, which again is just an interpersonal principle that is pretty common sense. So YouTube is the most popular platform for long form content, meaning videos that are 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour long, 2 hours long, 3 hours long, even. And the reason why YouTube is the best incubator to warm people up is because the norm is long form content. There was actually, some people, the political science realm, that studied this past election, and they believe that one of the major contributors to Donald Trump winning the election is the fact that he was on multiple long form podcasts, being interviewed without any cutting or editing or polishing of the video, and it demonstrated who he was to the public. And a lot of people say that because of that, people developed a trust in him. Even though they may not like him fully, they knew who he was and they knew what they were getting when they voted for him. He was on podcasts like the Joe Rogan podcast. Some of you may be familiar with that, and a few others. So that is a demonstration of this principle that when you are in front of a camera or you are on a podcast or you're talking over a longer period of time, in a way that feels more organic, more raw. It basically allows people to trust you and not see you as this con artist or scammer or whatever it is, right? So that's the first thing. YouTube, Instagram Reels, TikTok, short form is good to catch attention of people, right? Usually Reels or TikToks that are successful and go viral are like 30 seconds long, 20 seconds, even 10 seconds long. So you don't build trust as quickly, but it is a way to get in front of an audience more quickly because, yeah, Instagram and TikTok pushes out content like crazy. And yeah, it doesn't take a huge commitment for somebody to come across your stuff. And of course, this is $0, right? You don't have to pay to use YouTube or Instagram or TikTok for people to see your stuff. So the purpose, become findable, showcase your expertise. So this is what we call top of funnel. This is basically So there's two ways to look at it: top of funnel, or let me see if I can draw here real quick. Annotate. Will it let me? Yeah. Yeah. So top of funnel, basically, but I can't scroll as I'm doing it. So basically, this is the broadest that it's going to get in terms of audience, in terms of people that you're going to be serving. And as you keep going, you're going to see that there will be less and less people into the funnel that get into the high ticket range. Okay. So this is everybody. And then slowly but surely, you're going to get a smaller and smaller and smaller group of people that you're going to be serving that eventually get to your high ticket coaching program, which is where it's high touch. You're working either one-on-one or group coaching. And the other module, I recommend group coaching as the main thing that you offer. And one-on-one is like really premium, really, higher price, because with group coaching, you can put in the same amount of hours, and whether it's 5 people or 50 people in your program, you're still putting in the same amount of hours of work. And also it allows them to have community and networking to get to know other people in the same space. So going back to this community service content, pour a lot into this. This is what I recommend is your greatest investment in terms of time and energy, because the more you put into this, the easier the rest of this becomes. The more people trust you, the easier they will pay for a low ticket, the easier they'll pay for a mid ticket, the easier they'll pay for a high ticket, because there's already trust established. There are other funnels where it's basically um, just an ad that runs to your page, and then in the DMs, you get them onto a sales call and you try to pitch this right away. Unless you're really good at sales, your conversion rate is not going to be that high. There aren't going to be a lot of people that sign up from that. But it is the quickest way. But the long-term way to build your business and your brand is to build a reputation. A brand is a reputation, essentially. Like when you think about Apple, right? The simple, moment they drop a new iPhone, they don't need to really pitch it. They just have to announce it, and people are lined up because their brand is so big and people trust them so much already because they have served people well. So yeah, low ticket. It can be an ebook, mini course, PDF, a template, a workshop, something really just to show people or get people in the door, right? It can be literally $1, right? But the fact that somebody pulled out their credit card to say, hey, I'm going to pay for this thing that this person is offering, that's a major win. Don't underestimate that. The gap between $0 and $1 is actually huge, because a lot of people just go on the internet to get free stuff or just learn whatever. But the moment somebody pays you, that is the moment where it's demonstrating that they trust you and your expertise, even if it's just $1. So this low ticket is basically can be a book, it can be a PDF, template, workshop, live workshop, or even a recorded one. All of this is basically something to get people into the door that you can offer to them. And then once they take this, you can see very clearly, okay, this person is serious. This person views me as an authority figure, views what I have to offer as something valuable because they were willing to, pay. And this is a principle that you even find in the Bible, where Jesus says, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. So when somebody pays you for your service or for your template or PDF or whatever, their heart is invested in the thing that you're offering, right? Because again, their treasure is being handed over to you for your service. So they value your service at a deeper level than just watching your content. So low ticket is a great way to see who is actually serious, who is actually a potential client, and what in the business world you would call a lead. And what you can do is use that and then get them towards something that's mid-ticket. Maybe it's a recorded course, recorded modules. Maybe it's a multi-day boot camp on Zoom, or multi-day workshop that you have, or a a playbook that you can give them, right? That is kind of comprehensive and gives them all the information about how to overcome anxiety or different practices to, break an addiction or whatever it is, right? Whatever your offer is. So, mid ticket, um, deeper transformation, but it's not full access. But what you want them to get to, this is really the focus, is high ticket. This is where the money is made. This is where you have your group coaching, right? Your one-on-one coaching, your services, your retreat. This is where the transformation really takes place. This is to get people to get to know you and to build trust. This is to show for people to demonstrate that they actually value your stuff and trust you. And this is where you want them to be, where they're actually working with you at a close level, and you're coaching them and you're getting them the transformation that they desire. So this is just a little bit about funnels. This is a little bit about different offers. The other way that you can look at this is flipping it, right? So to flip this, and it's kind of hard to demonstrate this now, but if this were flipped, right? Community service content, let's just say, was at the bottom and high ticket was at the top. Ideally, so what you want is this would basically be what's called an ascendancy ladder. And essentially it would be like a pyramid, kind of like this, except high ticket would be at the top. And I don't know why this is blue, but we're gonna make this, let's say, red. Yeah, so high ticket would be at the top, and you would have your community service content down here. And then basically you go up in the opposite order, right? You basically go up instead of down, and your goal is to get people here, and you use, low ticket, mid ticket here as basically different rungs of the ladder to get them ascending towards your high ticket offer, right? So this is the opposite. Yeah, it looks a little bit ugly the way I drew it, but it's all good. So yeah, essentially what you want is to get people towards your highest offer. And again, this is where you serve people at the highest level, and it's also where you receive the most compensation for your service. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, any thoughts, you can ask it on the coaching calls, but this is just a high level overview of everything.